Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. My name is Dustin James. I am the host. That's why we call it the Dustin James Show. That's kind of funny. It's me. Just a little old me. No big deal. Listen, I've got something a little bit different for you today. I am going to take one of these articles from the mainstream media and hopefully show you how it's complete bullshit. And we'll talk about it. We'll think logically. And, their world is crashing down on them, I think, after this mega hat kid story with Nathan Phillips and the drum beating. Funny that he was beating a drum when the media beats the same drum. Every single one of them gets their 4 a.m. talking points from the CIA, Project Mockingbird. If you haven't heard of it, it's pretty apparent these days. Every single one of them. They'll pick a keyword. And you can pick it up in every single report. Right now, I mean, as we speak on Twitter, there's a gentleman by the name of Stefan Molyneux put some good stuff out, but whatever. I'm not versed enough in him, but right now there's a huge campaign on, as we speak, to label him a grifter, a con man on Twitter, and it's blue check mark after blue check mark. Every single one of these verified users is replying to him, mentioning him, posting something in terms of Stefan's a grifter. And they keep using that same word, grifter, grifter, grifter. It's everywhere. And it makes it quite apparent this stuff is coordinated, I guess. Collusion! Maybe they're working with the Russians. I don't know. Quite interesting. Anyway, we're going to talk about this bombshell story again, right? Always with the bombshells. Michael Cohen postpones testimony before Congress and cites threats from Trump. Yes, exactly. Because that's what our president does. He runs around threatening liars and con men who run scam taxi medallion circuits through New York City. It's like the mob, I'm telling you, with President Trump at the top. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I got excited. I had thought Hillary won the election and she was the president threatening everybody. Oh, no. What I'm saying is it's ridiculous if Trump's going to threaten this guy. There's a lot more going on behind the scenes. Well, let's dig into the article a little bit. Starting off, we're at Syracuse.com, by the way. I don't frequent there often, but here we go. Oh, look at this. By the Washington Post. Go figure, being reposted. Look at that. I didn't even realize that this was a Mockingbird post. By the Washington Post. That's something else. Washington Post, owned and operated. Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Quite interesting. Wow, that's a little twist I didn't even see coming to this one. Let's get into it. Michael Cohen, President Donald Trump's former personal lawyer, will not testify before Congress next month, one of his attorneys said Wednesday, which could quash, at least temporarily, liberal hopes for a public hearing in which Trump's ex-fixer airs the president's dirty laundry. We've had a couple of reports of Michael Cohen airing the president's dirty laundry, and it always ends up blowing up in the media's face. Need I remind you of BuzzFeed reporting that Trump had told Cohen to lie to Congress. That turned out to be a lie. Not from BuzzFeed, not from the fake dossier reporting. DNC, Hillary Clinton colluding BuzzFeed. They would never do such a thing. Never. All right, moving on. Lanny Davis, an attorney for Cohen, said in a statement, due to ongoing threats against his family from President Trump and Mr. Rudy Giuliani as recently as this weekend, as well as Mr. Cohen's continued cooperation in ongoing investigations, by advice of counsel, Mr. Cohen's appearance will be postponed to a later date. Let's think about that for a second. We say he's cooperating with ongoing investigations. Well, here's one thing we know for sure. Trump isn't under investigation. As much as the mainstream media would like to have you believe, and there's Russian collusion and Robert Mueller is investigating Donald Trump. It's not the case. How do we know this? Robert Mueller told us he's not investigating Donald Trump. Donald Trump, I believe the exact words out of his mouth were, Donald Trump is not a target of our investigation. We're not investigating Donald Trump. Who are we investigating? I don't know. Time will tell. I think I'll be pleased. I hope you'll be pleased. It depends which lens you're viewing this through. But we'll see. I'm not going to speculate on it because, well, if I do, then I might look like an idiot in 2 to 6 months when this thing wraps up. Maybe I'll look like an idiot for saying that I think it'll wrap up in 2 to 6 months. Who knows? Who knows? Cohen was to appear before the House Oversight Committee on February 7th. This is a time where Mr. Cohen had to put his family and their safety first, Davis said. Yes, because Donald Trump is threatening to kneecap your daughter. I bet. I don't know if he has a daughter. Your mom, right? He must have some sort of family. I do believe he's got a wife. I think that story of their house getting raided at 7 a.m. or something, I believe there was a wife involved there. But I can tell you this, Donald Trump is not sending the hit squad out for your family. It is not clear to which threats Davis was referring, and Davis declined to provide more detail. A person familiar with Cohen's account said the alleged threats have not been reported to law enforcement. Right. Because the leader of the free world is threatening to kneecap your wife, and you're not going to tell the cops because... I mean, don't you want him impeached? Don't you want him out of office? If that were such a thing, wouldn't you rush to the police? I mean, you've turned your back on him. You said, what did he? You said he led you down a path of darkness. Something tells me the darkness started with you, the darkness. He does not believe in a thing called love. I'll tell you that. Trump said of the claim that he had threatened Cohen, I would say he's been threatened by the truth. And that's pretty funny. Troll in chief. He's only been threatened by the truth, and he doesn't want to do that. Probably for me or other of his clients. The president has been publicly critical of Cohen for his cooperation with special counsel Robert Mueller and has suggested that Cohen's father-in-law ought to be investigated. Oh, it looks like we're going to kneecap your father-in-law with the law that he probably broke if we're interested in investigating him. You see how this works? Maybe he's telling the truth. Maybe he was threatened to be investigated. Well, you wouldn't investigate him unless he broke the law. We're not like the other side. We don't hurl accusations at people who are unguilty of what we're claiming, or at least unassociated with what we're claiming, like Trump and Russia. Giuliani, the president's current lawyer, has highlighted problems with Cohen's credibility. Giuliani was particularly skeptical of Cohen after BuzzFeed News, there they are again, reported last week that Cohen had told Mueller's office that Trump directed him to lie to Congress. In an account the special counsel disputed in an unprecedented public statement. That's right, everybody. BuzzFeed printed an article that claimed that Donald Trump told Michael Cohen to lie before Congress, and instead of letting it swirl around in the media for days or weeks or months or years like the Russian collusion, Robert Mueller, this guy who I'm not supposed to like, but he's a Democrat darling, came out and said, whoa, put the brakes on. That never happened. This is interesting. Little wrinkle, keep our eye on. I'm not saying it indicates anything that Mueller is actually investigating Hillary Clinton, for instance, or the FBI, or the DOJ under Obama, or Obama himself, or Comey, or Clapper, or Brennan. I'm not saying that, but maybe. It doesn't exclude that. Moving on. And to that point, we already discussed that Cohen has been cooperating with ongoing investigations. So if that were the case, that some of those people that I just mentioned are actually being investigated, I think Michael Cohen could be quite the help in that scenario as well. If you believe Cohen, Giuliani said, I can get you a great deal on the Brooklyn Bridge. That's old Rudy Giuliani trying to be funny. The Brooklyn Bridge isn't for sale, in case you didn't get it. It was not immediately clear that lawmakers would easily allow Cohen to back out of his commitments to appear before them. Right, because you scheduled an appointment with Congress. You'd just be like, I don't feel like it. A little under the weather. Mr. Cohen, yeah, quite under the weather. Being from New York there, he might have a touch of the Sicilian flu. If anybody is connected to the mob, I'd say we'd look at the other side first. House Oversight Committee Chairman Elijah Cummings and House Intelligence Committee Chair Adam Schiff, ooh, Schiff Day, Bongino, he'd like that. Adam Schiff said in a joint statement that they certainly understand the completely legitimate concerns for the safety and security of Michael Cohen and his family members in light of the attacks last week by President Trump. The attacks last week by President Trump. You make it sound like the guy did freaking 9/11. And again this past weekend by his attorney Rudy Giuliani. I don't see any attacks whatsoever. What is Giuliani come out and said, yeah, he lied? What's Trump come out and said, yeah, he lied? The last I checked, that wasn't an attack. Unless Trump rolls up with a spiked baseball bat and cracks him one upside the head, it doesn't sound like an attack to me. The lawmakers added that they had repeatedly offered our assistance to work with law enforcement to enhance security measures for Cohen and his family. Security measures, all right? We're not talking about legal threats here. You don't need security measures enhanced for legal threats. So it's clear here, Cohen's insinuating somebody is threatening to harm either him or his family physically. And that somebody is Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani. The Donald might be formidable, but I think if I sneeze too hard in Rudy's direction, he might fall over backwards. All right. In their discussions with Cohen's attorney, they offered these protections. Not appearing before Congress was never an option, though, they said. So we'll see if he gets away with it. Maybe they'll subpoena him, compel him to show up. Usually that wouldn't take effect for the scheduled date, but they may subpoena him and force him to come. We will not let the president's tactics prevent Congress from fulfilling our... I can't even read this with a straight face. It's Adam Schiff. The grandstanding piece of shit. We will not let the president's tactics prevent Congress from fulfilling our constitutionally mandated oversight responsibilities, Cummings and Schiff said. This will not stop us from getting to the truth. We expect Mr. Cohen to appear before both committees, and we remain engaged with this council about the upcoming appearance. What am I supposed to say about that? I got nothing for you, Schiff. Nothing. Yeah, let that stand on its own, and I will laugh uproariously in your face. Rewind the video just a little bit if you want to see that again. Ha! Rep. Stephen Lynch, Democrat of Massachusetts, who sits on the Oversight Committee, said several members of the panel would be in favor of subpoenaing him sooner rather than later. Oh, look at this. I should read this article ahead of time a little more carefully. There it is. Would consider subpoenaing him sooner rather than later to try and get him prior to his incarceration. Yeah, that's right. He's going to jail. Oh, did we forget that little tidbit? He's on his way to jail, but Trump's threatening him. Wow. Just wow. Cohen had announced to some fanfare earlier this month that he accepted an invitation to testify from Cummings in furtherance of my commitment to cooperate and provide the American people with answers. The hearing seemed as if it could be eventful. So he's going to provide the American people with answers. Not true answers. He doesn't qualify himself there. What is 37 times 26? I believe that would be 42. Yeah, that's an answer. I give you an answer. It's not the right answer, but I gave you an answer. Here's a little bit. background on Cohen, as the article continues. Cohen pleaded guilty last year to multiple crimes, including lying to Congress about a possible Trump Tower project in Moscow and arranging hush money payments to women who had allegedly had affairs with Trump. I believe he did that. I believe he arranged the payments. I believe President Trump probably had an affair with these women. Well, maybe not. But he hasn't necessarily... He might have come out and denied it at first, but I don't think he's run away from that too hard. And honestly, when you're one of the richest men in the world, isn't that kind of expected? Should we be surprised, is what I'm saying. Should we be surprised? Should we be that appalled by this? Am I doing such things? No. But maybe if I were, I'd be a billionaire. I don't know. My wife wouldn't like that very much. But maybe that is the secret to success in life. Run around gallivanting all over the world, sticking it in the hottest women you can find, and poof, you become a billionaire. I'll have to... No, I can't try that. I can't. I'm just kidding. Carrying on. Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison and expected to report to prison on March 6th, about a month after the date of his scheduled testimony. Cummins said, though, that Cohen could testify even after that. Yeah, I mean, they'll just wheel in the little computer and he'll sit there and it'll be like Hal from Airplane or something, pop it. Wow, that's a bad choice. He kind of looks like an inflatable doll, though. Yeah, that's it. Michael Cohen, the inflatable doll. They'll get one of those sexbot AIs in there and sort of move the mouth when he matches speech. That'd be pretty good. Set him up in court like that. Wheeled in on a gurney, straight jacket, Hannibal Lecter style. Yeah, Trump might send in a crony to kneecap him. We got to keep close tabs. We can always bring him in, even if it's in prison, he said. We can bring him in. The marshals can, They make arrangements. I would love to see that. If they actually did roll him in as Hannibal Lecter, so you're not going anywhere. Wouldn't want you to get your hands on any more taxi medallions. Trump critics had hoped Cohen might, at very least, offer unflattering revelations about the president. Cohen had claimed in court to have helped cover up Trump's dirty deeds. Done dirt cheap. Yes, that's it. They probably wrote that song, AC/DC did, about Michael Cohen. Dirty deeds, done dirt cheap. That's the effective line there. Dirt cheap, because Cohen's a cheap, sleazy dirt ball. That's what I gather, and I think we'll find out. All right, a little bit of side here. I can't. This is speculation, rampant, wild speculation. But I have no doubt that Trump was well aware of the false, maybe not false, the dirty deeds. There, we'll go with that. It's easy enough. It was right there. The dirty deeds that Michael Cohen was engaged in. And he kept him around as a tool in the tool belt. You see, this is the way these sort of folk think. Donald Trump's on a whole nother level. He's not the only one, It comes down to resources, essentially. I don't have the resources to send out spies and keep people on retainer just in case I need somebody to throw under a bus or a taxi, like Michael Cohen. Trump's got a lot of resources and a lot of contingencies, and I think Michael Cohen was a contingency, and he was a tool pulled out of the tool belt in an effort to expose the gross abuses of power that were perpetrated against Donald Trump in the 2016 presidential election campaign, perpetrated by Hillary Clinton, the Obama administration, and various other deep state actors around the world, including foreign allies. And Michael Cohen was just handy enough to be the skeleton key to unlock some certain door that was involved in basically running a long con sting operation against these people. That's my personal view. Wild, rampant speculation. Almost immediate, though, lawmakers raised questions about how much Cohen could say about the topic of greatest interest to the public. The information Cohen was said to provide to Mueller, because Mueller's investigation is ongoing, and Cohen would probably be restricted in what he could say. When Cohen announced he was testifying, Cummings said, "I want to make clear that we have no interest in inappropriately interfering with any ongoing criminal investigations. And to that end, we are in the process of consulting with Special Counsel Robert Mueller's office." Schiff said at the time that he hoped to schedule closed hearings so Cohen could talk with lawmakers about Russian-related topics. Why would you want those closed door, Mr. Schiff? Cohen wasn't involved in anything classified, I can tell you that much. I mean, I understand you say ongoing investigations, but maybe, just maybe, he wants them closed door so that Anons and other people much smarter than Adam Schiff can't debunk Michael Cohen's stories immediately like they did to BuzzFeed and like they did to Nathan Phillips and like they've done to so many other of the blatantly fake news that is purposely foisted upon the American people to gaslight them to believe a narrative that's simply not true. Listen, guys, it blows my mind how, what's the word I want to say, how bluntly and without fear of recourse these people operate. And truthfully, maybe they do have a fear of recourse, and it's a recourse much worse than you or I could ever inflict upon them. And that's probably the harsh reality, is that the puppet masters got them by the short hairs, and they say, you report this, and you report it the way we tell you to report it, otherwise bad things are going to happen. Most of these people are blackmailed, some of these people are brainwashed, and all of them are liars, whether they know it or not. That has been the Dustin James Show for the evening. I am your host, Dustin James. Remember, please subscribe, like, and share the video. I'm on Twitter at Dustin James Show, and you can email me at dustinjamesshow@gmail.com. Until next time,